Tonight on Connecticut's news station, dozens of college students left without a place to sleep after fire breaks out in a CCSU dorm. We'll take you to campus for more.
And we are tracking one of many rounds of rain to move through in the weeks ahead. We'll get you all set coming up.
Families have discovered their state benefits have been wiped, and now they tell us they're scrambling to get food on the table. We'll hear from the state about what happened and how you can protect yourself.
Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
And before those top stories, we are tracking breaking news out of Enfield tonight. Emergency crews on the scene of a serious motorcycle crash. Thanks for joining us here at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. The crash happened on Route 190. Police tell us the driver who hit the motorcyclist drove off. Fox 61's Jake Garcia is live at the scene. He joins us now with what we know so far. Jake, what are you learning?
Well, Brent and Sarah, I can tell you that we are still waiting for more details. We are expecting an update from Enfield Police here in the next few minutes, so hopefully we'll have more details to share with you later this hour. We can tell you that it was a hit and run, that police are investigating a hit and run here on Route 190 near Water Street. They do say that the motorcyclist was injured and CPR even had to be initiated. Now, Route 190 from Water Street to Glenard Road and even Westerly Drive has been shut down and remains shut down out this hour. So a lot of details. We still don't know the identity or what kind of car police are looking for at this hour, but it remains under investigation. And Route 190 does remain closed at this hour. Reporting live from Enfield, Jake Garcia, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Jake, thank you. Time now for a first check on the forecast. We have more days of spring temperatures ahead, but more days of spring showers as well.
Yeah, get your umbrella ready. Here's Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank with what we can expect overnight. Hi, Rachel.
Yeah, we need the umbrella, but not the winter jacket this week. As they mentioned, we are looking at temperatures well above average for this time of year. So no ice concerns, no snow concerns, but plenty of rain in the days ahead. This wet stretch starts tomorrow and will take us through this weekend, but it will be off and on, and there will be some breaks in the action. So this is round one that's going to be heading on in tomorrow, and we'll see periods of rain off and on through the day. That rain starts to get going right around or just before daybreak. So it's already wet when you walk outside the door tomorrow, and it'll be off and on as the day progresses, with highs in the 40s to around 50 degrees, even with all of the rain. We do dry things out right around this time tomorrow night. We'll get a break in the action for Wednesday morning, but then heading into Wednesday afternoon, we'll see another round of rain developing, and that could be heavy at times heading into Wednesday evening and early Thursday. And we are on a weather watch for the potential for not only heavy rain, but some poor drainage issues and some river flooding possible if this heavy rain risk ends up coming together. So we just wanted to give you a heads up that it is possible for Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening through daybreak on Thursday. We get another break in the action on Friday before more wet weather moves in this weekend. We'll talk about what that means for the Hartford St. Patrick's Day Parade. Your full forecast coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. New at 10, dozens of students at Central Connecticut State University are out of their rooms tonight after a fire broke out in a dorm building there. The New Britain Mayor's office tells us just after 6 this evening, the students reported a fire on the first floor of James Hall. Thankfully, there were no injuries. 60 students have been moved to a separate building while the university coordinates emergency housing. The cause of the fire is under investigation now.
Staying in New Britain, Route 9 was backed up for miles today. A serious crash near exit 37 shut northbound lanes. It was reported just after 3 this afternoon. White sedan crashed into a light pole. State police say serious injuries were reported. As of this hour, though, still no word on how many people were hurt or the extent of those injuries. Traffic has since reopened on Route 9.
Waterbury police have made a third arrest in a murder investigation, this time a teenager. The 16-year-old faces multiple charges, all connected to the death of 18-year-old Joseph Zavala last year. Police say he's being charged as an adult and is currently in custody. on a $3 million bond. Fox 61 choosing not to identify him by name at this time. Zavala was shot near North Main and Kingsbury Street on November 18th and died in the hospital 2 days later.
A restaurant owner from Wallingford has been arrested again. Police say the latest charges are in connection to reports he set up a camera inside a former employee's bedroom. Barna Langyel, known as Bruno Banani, owns Amarone Restaurant in Guilford. He was first arrested last week. Police say he was in possession of child pornography. The investigation into Langyel began when an employee filed harassment complaints against him. That employee had a relationship with Langyel, and they said he took photos of them without their knowledge. That employee also said after getting a restraining order, Langyel still tried to make contact with them. Langyel's now facing charges of criminal violation of a restraining order, voyeurism, eavesdropping, stalking, and risk of injury to a minor. Today marked day one in the trial of Trooper Brian North.
He faces charges of manslaughter in the January 2020 death of Mubarak Suleiman, who the Connecticut Inspector General says North shot and killed while on the job.
Fox's Julie LeBlanc has the latest from Milford.
This trial has been years in the making, with the family of Mubarak Suleiman consistently calling for justice for their loved one, all at the same time as Trooper Brian North shows up to court surrounded by his family and other members of law enforcement.
What's your relationship with Mubarak Suleiman?
I'm his mother.
Omar Mohammed, the first person to take the stand in the trial of Trooper Brian North, with her son's mental health taking center stage.
They diagnosed him with schizophrenia and bipolar.
Mubarak's sister says the week he was killed in January of 2020, her brother was experiencing another episode.
He was definitely experiencing like a mania.
North's defense attorney, Frank Riccio, pointing out the invisible illness.
You would have only known that he had or suffered from mental illness if you knew him personally or you had had prior occasions to talk to him and speak to him, correct?
Correct. Deputy Chief State's Attorney, Inspector General Robert Devlin Jr. taking jurors back to January 15th, 2020. That afternoon, he says Suleiman was at the AT&T in Norwalk and at one point took a knife out of his pocket but never threatened anyone. Then he says he got a ride to a nearby gas station where he eventually stole the car from the driver.
I learned that it was purely a stolen car at that point. There was no crime of violence that they were aware of.
After a brief chase, Norwalk police officers called the pursuit off, but somewhere in the mix, this message came over the radio to state troopers.
Consider it a felony stop. Consider it a carjacking now.
Shortly after, police say Mubarak ended up in West Haven, crashing his car on Campbell Ave. That's when officials say Trooper North fired 7 shots into the driver's side window at close range, killing Mubarak. The defense referencing that decision by Norwalk police to call off the initial pursuit of Suleiman.
This is, I think, a perfect example of a police officer having to make split-second decisions based upon the information you have at the time, correct?
Oh, absolutely. You didn't make your decision to shoot your gun that day, or did you?
Objection.
Now, North has previously pled not guilty to the charges against him, and in terms of the length of this trial, the judge is predicting the evidentiary portion will take about a week and a half. We're in Milford. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Julia, thank you. The Department of Corrections released Michelle Troconis' new booking photo this morning. It was taken moments after she was convicted Friday of 6 charges in connection to the disappearance and presumed death of Jennifer Farber-Dulos. She remains in police custody as she awaits her sentencing, which is expected to happen at the end of May. And her legal troubles are still not over. She faces a new charge of criminal contempt. Troconis is accused of having a sealed custody report visibly open on her laptop during the trial. She's expected to be arraigned on March 21st. Well, hundreds of people across the state are scrambling to get their EBT benefits back after they were stolen over the weekend.
The Department of Social Services has been flooded all day. For many people, these benefits are how they pay essential bills and put food on the table for their families.
Fox 61's Jake Garcia has more about how these benefits were stolen and how you can protect yourself from falling victim.
Out of Connecticut's 3.6 million residents, over 230,000 families receive benefits for food assistance. But the Department of Social Services say they've seen an increase in stolen benefits from skimming. Skimming devices are often placed by criminals at local businesses. So when you go to check out and you swipe your card, it retrieves your information through your card's magnetic strip. It can even record your PIN. Armed with that vital information, scammers then have the access to your money and benefits. The Connecticut Department of Social Services told Fox 61 in an email that DSS is exploring additional safeguards to our benefits card with our EBT vendor. DSS is not able to replace SAGA, state supplement, or TFA cash benefits for affected clients. However, the state can replace SNAP benefits for up to 2 months. The department also offering these tips so you don't fall victim. Choose a complex PIN and keep it secret. Change your PIN often, monthly if possible. Be aware of phishing. The Department of Social Services will never call or text you asking for your PIN. And of course, monitor your account and report unauthorized charges. You can even have your card replaced if necessary. Fox 61 has noticed victims who post about their stolen benefits on social media are often retargeted with phishing links with people trying to get additional information.
That was Fox 61's Jake Garcia reporting. As a reminder, if you see something suspicious concerning your benefits, contact the Department of Social Services. If your SNAP benefits were stolen, we have an official link to request a replacement on our website, fox61.com.
And we